League can be toxic, stressful, and most of the time frustrating, but what if someone changed all that? This is my off-meta account where I'm gonna play weird builds for 10 hours and see if I can climb the ranks, but most importantly, have actual fun playing League of Legends. And honestly, some of these builds end up being pretty good. Alright, so let's talk about AP top Nautilus. For your runes, you gotta go Grasp of the Undying to gain max HP and win early trades. For your build, you wanna start with Leandre's because technically your W is a damage over time ability, and your E can hit multiple times, which reactivates Leandre's. Next is Riftmaker because you build like a tank, so you get a lot of free AP. Next is Abyssal Mask because it gives your whole team Magic Pen. Then you want to build Thornmail or Frozen Heart. Basically Thornmail if you need the Grievous Wounds, and Frozen Heart if you need the mana. And the last item is usually team dependent. If you really need a tank, you can go something like Jock Show, but if you already have a tank, you can go damage like Hextech Protobelt. Anyway, to start off my ranked journey, I decided to try mid lane first because I thought he'd be a bit too weak for the top lane. Easiest game of my life. All me. In my head, it would be a lot like Galio mid lane with good CC and roam potential, but since Nautilus has no ranged abilities, I kinda just got poked and the lane felt pretty bad. And since it was my first game, I didn't know exactly what to build yet, but it didn't matter, I was having a ton of fun. We won the game and I started my journey plat 4 0 LP. Well, technically, that was my rank before this game, but you get the point. My next game I went jungle, which was probably one of the most exciting games of this whole challenge. You see, jungle Nautilus has a lot of CC, and his ganks are incredible even without his ult. And once he has his ult, ganks are even better because there's just no way the enemy can escape your ganks. Oh no! The main issue is Nautilus has one of the worst clear speeds I have ever seen, and I quickly started falling behind this Nocturne in farm and levels. Honestly, this game went super well, and if Nautilus could kill the solo camps like Gromp, Red Buff, and Blue Buff just a little bit faster, I actually think this would have been a solid pick. And even though I decided to not go jungle again, this role was also really fun. Oh! You're a god! So finally I went top lane, and even though I like this lane the most, it didn't start off very well. But yeah, after I did get that one kill, it was just death after death after death. But the reason I decided to keep playing top lane was because these early trades were so good. I knew that with a little bit of practice, this could actually turn into an amazing pick. All right, let's make sure we last them play. I missed it. Next few games, I really started to learn the limits of this build. And let me tell you, no one ever expects the damage from an AP Nautilus. Bitch, you're dead. Get out of here with that bullshit. Oh wait, actually, I need to leave. No! And I learned that the team fighting with this champion is insane because you have slows, knockups, and snares out the ass. Even though I didn't know how to carry the game yet, I was still loving this build and learning a lot. Get me out! No! Dude, literally the most damage on the team. That's incredible. I'm actually flabbergasted. That was really good. In my next game, I learned Urgot is one of my biggest counters because his flip cancels my Q, which kinda sucks. Yeah, needless to say, laning phase was hell and we lost the game. And just like that, I was back to plat 4 0 LP. Now, I know what you're thinking. This build doesn't look that good at all. Well, if you would just be patient and give me a second to learn the build, I will show you how good this build actually is. Look at that. Win after win after win. You see, one of the biggest strengths of Nautilus is his AoE abilities that get him lane priority and high base damage that allows him to win trades in lane. His CC makes it impossible for the enemy to escape ganks if my jungler actually decides to gank me, and he's pretty good at roaming the fights, again with his amazing CC and AoE damage. I mean, I'm not saying I discovered like the next OP top lane pick or anything, but you gotta admit, these games are starting to go pretty well now that I know what I'm doing. And I mean, I'm an AP Nautilus making this top Tryndamere my bitch. This is awesome. And again, in team fights, my AoE damage, CC, and tankiness is just too much for the enemy team to deal with. What are they even supposed to do here? And it's just so funny winning early 1v1s with this pick, because you know the enemy top laner is like, what the fuck is even happening? There's no way this champion's balanced. And even though this game ended up being a loss, I have to say I am having a lot of fun playing League of Legends right now. He's dead to the... Why does he heal so much? Oh, I kill him, cool. But hey, not every game can be a winner. At the halfway mark, work, I had a kind of weird game where I played against an enemy Kale who just froze the lane, so I just roamed and won a couple of big team fights with my team. And since I helped my team early, they decided to help me top lane. But to be honest, I kinda fell behind this game. There were always fights happening, so I tried to teleport them or roam to them, but that made me fall behind a bit in CS. And even though Kale was definitely starting to outscale me, as long as Fizz could kill her in a fight, the rest of the team was pretty easy to deal with. Top diff, baby. My next game was against a Smolder, and since I pushed him in early game, I made the jungler's life a living hell. And then she literally just started running it down. Like, Shyvana, who hurt you? You died one time in a silly video game. Chill out. I mean, I know Smolder picked a ranged top laner and deserves to lose, but I'm actually starting to feel a little bad for the guy. Also, while editing this video, I just realized Smolder's name is so funny given the situation. Yeah, the enemy team surrendered in 15 minutes. And my next game started off pretty well too. Oh my gosh, I didn't know if I needed to ult there or not. So I panicked and just ulted, but I think it was worth. But I don't know if it was karma for the last game, but in this game, where we were hard winning, we had not one, but 2 disconnects. So yeah, we lost this game and I was actually pretty tilted, so I got off for the day. Luckily, I only lost like 10 LP because we had 2 AFKs, so I ended plat 4, 92 LP. So I got on the next day, ready to win. Just to die immediately because I thought Briar backed in the bush. But it's okay. Once I built Bramble Vest, it was pretty easy to just start killing her. Yeah, I don't know what happened this game, but it quickly turned into a clown fiesta. Nice! Oh my gosh, she flashed. Oh no, wait, I am not gonna make it out of this one alive, am I? Also, can I just say, this poor Briar had her entire kit countered by one 800 gold item. I would be so mad right now if I were her. Anyway, back to the Clown Fiesta. This game was genuinely all over the place, back and forth, with both teams averaging a kill a minute. And for every fight we would win, the enemy team strike back by winning a huge fight of their own. This game was honestly looking neck and neck, and it was anyone's game. But unfortunately for the enemy team, they were playing against an AP Nautilus, a walking submarine that does not give a fuck and kinda just walks at you menacingly until you die. The perfectly timed Q! This build is so much fun. Anyway, with only a couple hours left in the challenge, I went back to what I do best, stomping the enemy top laner. Bitch, you're dead! Are we gonna kill? We kill her ass? Kill her ass! Bitch, you're dead again! I take it back, I wanted a gank. That was a great gank. At this point, I had a solid build path, knew how to play the champion, and had the blind confidence to just fight the enemy over and over again and usually win. Nobody ever expects the top lane Nautilus. And to be fair, no one ever really expects top lane Victor either. This lane was definitely gonna be interesting. And by interesting, I mean an absolute domination. The enemy team had to send 3 people here to kill me, and I still almost killed 2 of them. Fuck me, it's also Lulu? Okay. I missed. Why is she also here? It's okay. I got my revenge on Lulu just a few seconds later. Yeah, I didn't have to do too much this game, and since Victor was a ranged top laner, I tried Rod of Ages for the sustain, but it didn't really feel that good. But I think I said it best at the end of this game. Easiest game of my life. And going into my final hour, I was against a Tryndamere, and just like last time, I made him my bitch. And I could practically feel the guy's anger when I killed him at level 6. Boom, bitch, you're dead! No, I missed the cannon again! Oh, I hate it here. Unfortunately, we had a support Darius. The score was 7-24, so we lost in 20 minutes. So going into my final game, what are my thoughts on AP Nautilus top? I mean, I definitely had a few issues learning what to build and how to play him, but once I got the hang of things, I actually think it's a pretty decent pick. His early damage is super high, he has surprisingly good synergies with Leandre's because his W and E hit multiple times, and he's a CC monster in teamfights. That being said, he does fall off a bit late game, you feel pretty weak when behind, like during this final Jungle Nautilus game, and he has no percent HP damage like a lot of other top laners have. Overall, I'd probably give this top Nautilus build a 7 out of 10, but there's definitely room to improve if people get a better build or learn to play him better. Anyway, with this sad final game being placed jungle, I lost and ended the challenge plat 3, 11 LP. Thank you all for watching. Let me know any builds or champions you want me to play in the future.